सोम्य इदमग्रे आसीत् एकमेवाद्वितीयम् वाचारम्भणो रम्भणं विकारो नामधेयम्. In Uddalaka's teaching, there is a straightforwardness. He doesn't try to sugarcoat what is finite, and he immediately points it out with a age-old example. This is where we get the example of pot and clay. This is if one is wondering where did this long-standing ancient example come from, it is from right here. Ekena mritpindena sarvam mrinmayam vijñātam bhavati. By examining or by conducting an enquiry into one lump of clay, the entire world of earthenware is as good as known, as good as understood, without needing to study each and everything that has come out of the clay. This is a very, astute observation. And important, clever, unremarkable things in the time, and then in ancient, in the Vedic times. And then if you look, most people would just look at it and not give it much thought. But for a person of self-knowledge, this becomes one more way to look at Brahman. Brahman here, Ishvara, the cause of the universe. From the root verb brih, which means limitlessly big. So, because it doesn't mention the size, so we have to take the default meaning, limitlessly big. Because the word big is relative. If I tell you, look at the big mustard seed, then, it is still small. And look at the big mountain. There is no difference in the word big, but then there is a big difference in how it is used and the context. So here there is purposefully no context given. In the word Brahman, it is simply defined as big. So in other words, we take it in the abstract sense of bigness, personified bigness itself, without any kind of a delimitation. Limitlessly big. So on the micro level, this example serves in many, many ways if we unpack it. So one lump of clay, and out of one lump of clay, we have so many pots. Everything has come from this one lump of clay. Or we can say that from one lump of clay, we have discrete objects. We can have a pot, we can have a lid, we can have a cup, we can have a water jug, or we can have a beautiful figurine of Lord Krishna, also from the clay. So all these are there, and we find this in India. You go on the roadside and they have all the clay crafts, an earthenware lamp, a figurine of Krishna, lid, and water jug. And then what else? A child's toy, a doll, some little kind of a top, a spinning top, also made of clay. So all these things are there. And then it is a very interesting thing, because when we look at the various objects, they don't seem like synonyms. If everything is one, then clay, forget clay, even the pot and lid should be synonyms, but they are not. Pot is pot, lid is lid, figurine is figurine, doll is doll, and a clay toy is toy. Each one has a name, It has a word and it has a meaning, that the spuranam of this meaning, meaning the lighting up of the meaning of the word, takes place even as I say the word pot. You see your ishta pot in the head. Ishta pot means your desired pot, your favorite pot comes up in the head. Even though I don't have a pot to show you here, your own pot comes up in the head. Big pot, small pot, all kinds of pots come up in the head. Then I say lid, and you imagine various, each one imagines a way, some different kind of lid. And then same thing with jug and toy and doll. And very soon you have your own internal world of objects, just completely activated by hearing, by the mere shravanam of those words, of those very words. And then, so therefore, they are not synonyms. They all look very, very discreet. Yet Uddalaka says that all of them are mrid vikaraha. Vikara means modification. Sarvam mrinmayam. See, the suffix maya is a very important suffix in Sanskrit language. Maya has the meaning of being two meanings. First meaning is full of, second meaning is a modification of. So, you cannot say the pot is full of clay because I'm holding an empty pot in my hand. It is not full of clay. But the second meaning, therefore, applies. The pot is a modified form of clay. You throw the clay on the wheel, potter's wheel, and it looks so easy. And then the wheel keeps moving, and then some beautiful, nice shape comes. When the potter is doing it, if you start to do it, it implodes and collapses on itself. It's a sorry little thing. And then you bring it home because you made it, and then you don't know what to do with it. Nobody will even buy it at a garage sale. Okay, so this is and it's not functional because you can't drink out of it. It'll pour on this side, it will spill on that side, and you made it too thin on one place, so there is a hole, so you can't even use it like a vase. So but anyhow, you have this feeling, I have modified the clay. I am also a creator of something. But when the potter does it, there is a grace to it. There is something so beautiful, just and an effortlessness. And the shapes keep coming and going. No, 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 I want a jar. Okay, no problem. Here is a jar. No, 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 I want a wide mouth flower vase. Oh, okay, there we go. There's a wide mouth flower. No, 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 can you make it a cup? Okay, sure. Let's just round it up a little bit. But I want designs. Okay, let's make a few designs. Let's make a little lotus flower here and an Om sign there, so you can remember who you are when you drink out of this. Here is your cup. So, this is all, as we see, it is fascinating. It's a modification of clay. And then, and some, let's say there is a very, petulant child who is not happy with anything. Forget it, I don't want anything. Okay. And then it goes back to the lump of the clay, and it goes back to the lump form after giving us this wonderful show of all the things it could have become. And then it is just set aside back to clay. And so, what are these names? Cup, pot, lid, figurine, doll, toy, what else? Plate. So many things. What are these words? These words are just that, he says. Uddalaka says, Vak arambanam. Vak alambanam. They begin with your tongue. And in fact, these words are totally dependent on speech. These objects are dependent on speech. Pot is nothing but a word which has an agreed upon meaning. Everybody agrees that this funny shaped thing with a little kind of a lip we will call pot. Some point it was agreed long before you and I came into the picture. But we are free to use this word because we understand each other. Lid, we agree. What is a lid, And we all agree that, what is a, clay figurine. We agree. We agree. We know what a toy is. We know what a jug is. We know what a jar is. We know what a vase is. These are all word and meaning. And then we can extrapolate it to the entire Jagat. Body, word and meaning. Mind, word and meaning. Senses, word and meaning. Sorrow, word and meaning. Happiness, word and meaning. Anger, word and meaning. Desire, word and meaning. Bondage, word and meaning. Freedom, word and meaning. So the whole Jagat is nothing but word and meaning, 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 word and meaning. Just words, endless series of words and their respective meanings. But to what do these words and meanings belong? They belong to Satchidananda. They belong to Brahman. They don't belong to the object. Really, the object is just a word and meaning. The truth, the content of the word and the meaning belongs to Sat. This is what he wants, Uddalaka wants us to know. That the whole clay world is just words and meanings applied to the clay. Because the existence of the pot is not the same as the existence of is not the same as the existence of clay. There is a difference. In fact, the relationship between the pot and the clay is that of effect and cause. So the pot and clay enjoy a effect cause relationship. Effect karya, cause karana. Same thing. If you look at lid, everything cause effect relationship. So the clay is the cause and pot is the effect. And so what do we see here? If pot is nothing but clay, then the effect is nothing but cause. Karyam, cause, karanat ananyat. So the cause, the effect, effect, karanat ananyat. The effect is non-separate from the cause. This is what is a very important thing to understand. Effect is cause is not effect. Pot is clay. Well, how can you say pot is clay? Because if pot is not clay, then if pot is separate from clay, then I will invite you to hold the pot but give me back the clay. Can you do that? You cannot. Because the weight of the pot is the weight of clay, the color of the pot is the color of clay, the smell of the pot is the smell of earth, the clay. In fact, the whole pot is nothing but clay. From the standpoint of the pot, clay is intrinsic to the pot, to the very being of the pot, but not so the other way down, or other way around. From the standpoint of clay, the pot is an incidental happening. The clay does not depend on the pot for its existence. Similarly, Sat does not depend on anything in the Jagat or anywhere for its existence. In fact, what is the Jagat? Effect, as though effect of Sat. So, what is this effect? The effect is non separate from the cause. Jagat is Sat. Jagat is Brahman. The whole universe is Ishvara, OMG. This is a very, very big thing. The whole universe is Ishvara. Whatever you see, Ishvara. Wherever you go, Ishvara. Whatever, whoever you contact, Ishvara. From the outlaw to the in-law, everyone is Ishvara. Everyone is Ishvara. Everything is Ishvara. Everything is that has that presence, the presence of what we call God, Ishvara. Without that presence, that Satchidananda, without that Satchidananda presence, a thing is not a thing really. The very existence of a thing is because of the presence of Satchidananda. And here, from the standpoint of the individual, we say Satchidananda. From the standpoint of the whole, we say Satyam Jnanam Anantam, or Brahman. From the standpoint of Ishvara, Brahman, it's Ishvara is independent of the Jagat. The Jagat is an as though effect, and the effect is non separate from the cause. Very, very strange logic. Effect is cause, cause is not effect, cause is still cause, cause has not become the effect. Very, very important to understand this. And if we understand this, Uddalaka says, you have known that one thing in the universe, knowing which everything is as good as known. If everything is Ishvara, then knowing Ishvara, everything is as good as known. If in the earthenware world, if everything is clay, then knowing clay, all the pot, lid, everything is already known. This is the whole understanding. If this understanding is not there, then it is at our own peril. This understanding, when it is not assimilated, even at the level of the example, gives rise to a lot of sorrow. The pot, for example, if it were to be blessed with a human mind, would certainly look around to see what the other pots look like. Oh no, that one has a nice shiny glaze. That one has a glaze. I am a plain pot. I just, I'm just not really good looking. Look at the other one. It has a nice blue glaze, the same blue as Lord Krishna. And I don't have anything. This is one pot. And then the other pot says, I'm a small pot. I'm a tiny pot. You can buy that tiny pot on the roadside in India, because they make all these big ones and they have a little one, little bit of clay left, and then they just press it on their finger, and then they just take it out and make it. It's this tiny little pot. And if that had a human mind, it would say, oh no, the world is too much. Too much. And even if I had that tiny pot and I held it to show you, it would be saying, oh no, don't hold me with two fingers. I may fall, I may die. Don't do this to me. And there are all these other pots that can swallow me up completely whole. Don't do this to me. I'm very sad because I just don't have a role in life and I don't have anything. And if I tell the tiny pot, but look, you are a Vedanta pot, you are an important pot, you are a teaching pot, you should be happy. And how are you teaching? You're teaching without me, you're making people imagine a pot by just holding the two fingers. I'm still not in the picture. How sad. How sad. And then the other one cries, you are all just crying for nothing. Wait till you hear my story, says this pot. What is this pot? Crackpot. It has a little crack on the side. So it says, I am a crackpot. I can't even hold water. I'm leaking all the time. And I'm just so sad. I'm just really upset. So, what should happen now? A guru of the pots should come. Either a pot guru or a pot bellied guru, doesn't matter. Some pot guru should come and tell all these pots, hey, look, you are not pot. What? You're not pot at all. Then, then what am I? You are nothing but clay. Clay, 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 all the way. No, 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 don't say that. Clay is God. We don't know where clay is. Clay is you. The top of you is clay, the bottom of you is clay, the sides of you is clay. The smell of you is clay, the weight of you is clay. In fact, there is no such thing as you other than just clay. And then we have a quote unquote enlightened set of pots who start their own lineage. You are clay. That is their Tat-Tvam-Asi. Okay? You are clay is for them. Tat-Tvam-Asi. That Tat is clay for them. This is, the same thing. And that is why he gives this example, because it is so easy to grasp at the level of pot. And he says all these are words and meanings. And think about what we talked about earlier, the concept of enmeshment. The enmeshment happens with words and meanings, and we think that which has word and meaning must be real, independently existent in its own right, but it is not. It is not. And then Uddalaka gives his second example. What is the second example? Out of one lump of gold, a million ornaments are made, and the ornaments are but a modification of the gold. And so all there is gold. The word ornament is for ornamentation alone. It's just a word and meaning, word and meaning, word and meaning. What ornament? There is no such thing as ornament. You look at a chain, you look at a ring, you look at a nose stud, and you look at a bangle, and what do you see? Gold. In fact, every jeweler knows this. You may say, oh, this has got some sentimental value and it belonged to my great grandmother, this necklace. But it has this design I can't wear. So I want something modern, but I'll use the same gold. You take the gold to the jeweler, unceremoniously, he or she will pluck out all the stones and put it aside. What are you doing? That was my great grandma's necklace. Hey, you should have kept it with you. If you bring it to me, I see only gold. He's a gold jnani. The jeweler is a gold jnani, only knows gold, does not see the design, is not interested in how many precious stones are studded there, removes all of them, and also subtracts a little bit of alloy. For how many carats? 18 carats. Okay, so it is not completely pure. So whatever silver, copper, whatever is there to make the gold more malleable, he subtracts all that, and what you are given is only the price of gold. The making charges are not reimbursed, and nothing else is reimbursed, only gold. And this is something very, in India, every jeweler is a gold jnani. This is how it is. And so then a very interesting thing happened to my teacher, and he was invited to go and inaugurate a gold jewelry shop of a devotee. And the devotee said, Swamiji, please come to our shop and please inaugurate my shop. Swamiji said, okay, and showed up at the appointed day, cut the ribbon, went inside and praised all the cases with a million ornaments, very big shop. And the jeweler said, Swamiji, you have come all the way, and I want to give a gift. You please select one thing from the shop, it will make me very happy. And Swamiji said, be careful. You're talking to a Swami. You're talking to an Advaitin, the one who sees non-duality everywhere. Are you sure you want me to take one thing? Yes, Swamiji, take one thing. Swamiji then says, okay, I'll take the gold. You keep the ornaments. And of course, everybody started to laugh. And the jeweler got an instant Vedanta lesson, because that would have been the shortest history of a jewelry shop in existence if Swamiji had actually taken the gold. So all there is gold. From Swamiji's view, there was only gold, gold, gold. The ornament is but a modification of gold. Just gold all the way. And if one doesn't, if the ornaments had a human mind, then they would have a very, very sad time. The bangle would want to be the chain, and the chain would want to be the nose stud, and the nose stud would want to be the head ornament, and the head ornament would be saying all the time, I'm just, on the head, I don't like it. I want to be the foot ornament. What are they called? Rings, toe ring, or some kind of anklet. And so, like this, it would be a big fiasco. It would be a terrible fiasco, because everything, there is so much cacophony, with a bangle saying, I'm just so worn out, because I'm always exposed to the sun, and I have become thin, because this lady who wears me is just so clumsy. She keeps hitting me here and there each time she cleans something, or each time she does something. And I have scratches. I'm no longer the bangle that I was. Now, from bangle, I have become completely, what should I say, totally full of bangs. I have been banged here and banged there, and I'm just all really, really sad. I wish I were the chain. And the chain, in the meantime, has its own woes. The chain is not happy being chained. Do you think if the bangle is unhappy being bangle, the chain will be happy being changed? Not a chance. The chain says, you know what? This lady is a hypochondriac, and she's always putting so many scarves around her all the time, shawls and scarves and shawls and scarves. She dresses like a mummy. In fact, before she goes out of the door, she mummifies herself and then goes. And nobody can appreciate the intricate designs and the wonderful, the very delicate, wonderful things. And then it's all to waste. I wish I could show myself off. I need fresh air. I'm just so claustrophobic. Help. Oh God. And this bangle, such a nice life it is having. Next life, make me into a bangle, because whenever she greets somebody and shakes the hand, the bangle is the one that is seen, appreciated, and I'm here unsung and totally. What a life, like a desert rose. Even if I bloom, nobody is there to appreciate me. And Bhagavan says, no problem. In fact, this is easy. In the next life, the chain becomes the bangle, and the bangle becomes what? The chain. What happens after that? Well, you guessed correctly, because the first 2 days, the bangle, which is now the chain, was very happy. Aha, I belong close to the heart. I'm finally here. Good, great. Thank you, Bhagavan. Thank you, Ishvara. And then what happens? Same thing happens to the chain that is now the bangle. This is more like it. I'm right here, up front and center, visible to the world. I'm visible. Everybody can appreciate me. And then the chain that has now become the bangle got a rude shock. What happened? The lady, the clumsy woman, what did she do? She hit her hand against the doorknob or something. And the chain was used to being very, very protected and kept close to the heart and away from all these kinds of shocking events. And the chain, which is now the bangle, promptly fainted. And when it came to, it was having a throbbing headache. It was saying, "Oh my God, what has happened to me? What hit me?" And then again the woman just did something, and then it got pressed between two kitchen utensils, and then it was still just hardly it had got over one shock, it was traumatized again. Meanwhile, the bangle, which is now the chain, started to feel claustrophobic and started to want to come out of this mummified neck of full of scarves and shawls and all these things. "Oh God, enough of this. Make me back into a bangle," said the chain, who was previously a bangle, and the other time also the bangle, which was previously the chain, said, "Make me back into the chain. Take me back." And Bhagavan again said, "Tathastu, so be it." And Goddess Lakshmi, who is always by Lord Vishnu, said, "How can you, why do you do this? How is this? How do these people even live?" He said, "Just enjoy." That's why we don't have cable TV. We can just hone in on any jiva and watch their lives. And, it's a reality show. We have free reality show. 7 billion channels, just human beings. And we can just look at all of them. Just don't take them seriously, because this is how it is, this is how they are. Until when? Until they get Atma Jnanam, until everyone knows that, knows what? Don't say, "I am clay, I am gold." Until one knows, "I am one with Bhagavan." That everything here is nothing but Ishvara. And that is what is going to be our next topic for the next class, which I think is not in the evening, but tomorrow. ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्तिः 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 हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Thank you.